Today we're going to be talking about why driving empire updates have been so mid for the last month. But before we do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a link in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so why have driving empire updates been so mid lately? Let's talk about it. So I've seen a ton of people, saying mid-update, L-update, every time they release an update for like around the past month. So let's go back a month ago. What did they release? Well, almost a month ago from this day, Driving Empire released, I think it was a Porsche update, okay? So about a month ago, they released the first two Porsches. People were like, okay, cool, we got some Porsches. The week after that, a few more Porsches. People were like, okay, 2 weeks in a row, Porsche. Hopefully they switch it up, do something different next week. The next week, more Porsches, okay? And to be honest, that third week was really where it started to be a problem because the Porsches they added were, one, a retexture, like they literally just added this livery to one. And then the other Porsche, let's see, it's the GT2 RS, so let's search GT2, right? This was the Porsche that came in week 2, and this was the Porsche that came in week 3. Basically the same car, literally just this little stripe down the middle. That's the only thing that made it different. And this car, a lot of people said it was overpriced, and they were pretty frustrated about that, and I don't blame them, 1.1 million is kind of pricey for a Porsche. So people basically were, tired of them adding Porsches. But then last week, they added 3 new houses, and they claimed to, have a new limited Porsche, but it's just the same limited from the week before, still being on sale as a limited for an extra week or something. So, there wasn't really even a new car last week. And they've just announced today, let's see, they've announced that this week's update is gonna be a Jaguar Classic Limited. Maybe a few people, a small amount of people think that one limited Jaguar is cool. But most of you guys probably think that is just mid. Let's be honest. I'm sorry. Driving Empire, if you're watching this, I'm not trying to be rude here. Love the game. Me personally, I don't hate these updates too much. I'm just saying what the community's saying to me, and they're saying that they think this stuff is mid. They aren't crazy about the classics. I personally think the classics are kind of cool, but I know a lot of you guys watching, maybe some of you like classics, but a lot of you like the modern supercars, and I don't think you guys are gonna appreciate this update that much. I'll be honest, you won't think it's that cool. So why are they having all these mid updates? That's like 4 mid updates in a row, I would say. 4 mid updates in a row. Why is there 4 mid updates in a row, you might be asking? Well, here's the truth. Here's why Driving Empire hasn't been releasing as much content as they were a month back, why they haven't been releasing as crazy updates, and the truth is that they are working on two things that might be pretty big. So, there's one thing that's really big I can say, and then there's another thing. I don't think it's going to be too big, but still, it's a pretty cool thing that they're working on. So let's go over what those 2 things are that they're working on. Okay, now the first thing that they are working on. Now, this one isn't that big, and they said it themselves, this is going to be a lot smaller than previous years this year, but it is some form of Halloween event. I've already made a video explaining what I think would be really cool to be in the Halloween event. They haven't really teased any information on it or explained what would be in it, but they did say that there's probably going to be one, and it's probably going to be pretty small. So yeah, in my video, I basically just went over what I think should be in it. So check that out if you haven't already. But that is the first thing that's kind of small that I think they're working on right now. They're trying to cook up that Halloween event because the Halloween season, it is right around the corner. But there is something really big that they are working on. Now, the reason that they've had mid-updates for the past few weeks, the reason that the Halloween event this year is going to be smaller is because of this one big thing that they are working on, and that is a whole new map revamp. Now, I heard it's going to be based in Miami, Florida, and I think they're, starting to add some stuff into the game that could be based around this map revamp. We've gone into more depth about this map revamp in previous videos as well, so once again, check those out if you want to get more information out of this. But let me talk about, some stuff that they've already added into the game that gives us a little preview into what this new map's going to be like. Okay, now the first huge thing that we've had added to the map is actually a partnership with NASCAR to be able to have the Daytona International Speedway. Now, this is not based in Miami, Florida. In real life, it's in Daytona, Florida. But hear me out, it's part of Florida. It makes sense for them to have it, and I think it's really cool. So this is technically like, I guess you could say, one of the first changes they're making to start transitioning the map from California theme into more of a Florida theme. So I think that's really cool. They've added this Daytona Speedway. This is one of those updates that they've added in like maybe the last 2 months to start, changing for this huge update that they're working on. Now you might think that's the only thing they've added so far, but they've actually been adding some other stuff, changing some other details that you might not have even known about. So let me show you. So you might have noticed they've recently added these new types of houses last week. Let me show you, one of them, for example. It is a roleplay style house, the Wayfort dealership. Now, You might be thinking, oh, this is just, you know, something they're adding for filler content. Well, that could be true. Personally, I think this might be something else. So, on the new map, hear me out. What if they're adding, you know, these types of roleplay style houses? Because we have the Wait For It dealership, right? We also have, oh, wrong button. As I was saying, we also have houses like the Rooftop Cafe and houses like the Speedway Convenience, which obviously aren't actually houses. They're like roleplay style buildings. So hear me out. What if on this new map, I don't know how they would do it, but you see this neighborhood section over here where you can spawn in your houses in this neighborhood? What if they have like some kind of neighborhood, maybe this neighborhood, because this is still a new thing that's been added to the game. So a neighborhood like this, right, for the houses, and then all these other plots out here will be used for your businesses, and they actually have functional businesses that you can run in game. So for example, the Way Forward dealership, this could be like a functional business you could be running on the new map. I know it's a far-fetched idea, but what if like they're not only adding a new map, they're adding a completely new aspect to the game in this major revamp. I mean, it's a far stretch, a far-fetched, whatever you want to call it thing, but I really think, I mean, it could be possible, you know. That might be why they're adding these. First, they're just kind of adding the buildings for people to, you know, get for roleplay purposes at the moment, but in the future, they might actually be functional on the new map. So, like I was trying to say, you know, neighborhood over here for spawning your house, the plots down here for spawning your business. You know what I'm saying? Makes more sense, because I mean, I guess in real life, some people live on houses along roads like these, but usually there's like businesses along this type of stuff. Maybe not along the rivers that are nice like that, but I mean, there's definitely like plots like this that would just make sense for, you know, a little shopping plaza or something where you could spawn your own business on this new map that they're working on. Now, back to the whole Porsche thing. Why do they have like so many Porsche updates in a row? Well, I think what they were trying to do is, since they're, you know, working on this new map that I'm talking about, they haven't had much time to, you know, make other updates that are crazy or game-changing. So what they're doing is, instead of just releasing a ton of Porsches in one update, they spread them out to give themselves more time to work on this major revamp that they're cooking up right now. So hopefully, you know, this kind of clears everything up, explains why the updates have been mid. You have to trust me, you know, it might seem like the updates have been getting mid lately. Some people are saying, oh, Driving Empire is back to falling off or something. They're not. They're working on something much bigger than you guys can comprehend right now. So hopefully, when they're done working on this major change, the game will be, you know, back to going crazy. More new licensed brands. Hopefully they got some more coming soon. I'm not too sure about that though, because recently, you know, they kind of have just been adding a ton of the same licensed brands that they already have. But yeah, that is going to be everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe and that notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube thinks to like it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.